Though Congress remains stalled on immigration reform, the Catholic Church hasn't faltered in its tireless work helping our nation's immigrants. Today in Washington, Catholic institutions from across the country met to strategize about this challenging and important ministry. The keynote address was given by the Bishop of Brooklyn, Nicholas DiMarzio.
The church at the very beginning was multicultural and struggled, how do we integrate the Greeks and the Hebrews? And then it went on, as the church became the great missionary church that it is, how do we integrate all of these peoples into one church?
Immigrant integration was the focus of this day of panel discussions, which was organized by the Center for Migration Studies.
As we look to our work today, we try to figure out how we can make the church still to be a mediating structure in the integration of immigrants. Integration, again, meaning that people keep their own culture, their own identity. We don't want them to lose that. But still, we have to be clear on how we can facilitate that work. And again, if they feel welcomed, if they feel strong, we will accomplish our task.
The discussion topics ranged from the theological basis of immigrant integration to the challenges of serving undocumented immigrants.
They're here to work. They integrate from a position of strength, not weakness. We have to affirm them. We have to welcome them. They're here contributing to our society, so we want to make sure that they will eventually put the roots down here. We can't keep them at arm's length. We have to welcome them in, and that's the work of the church. It's the work of our society, too.
In the middle of the day, an update on the prospects for immigration reform brought home the grim reality that undocumented immigrants may not get any relief from enforcement in the near future. How does the work of the Catholic Church and its institutions go in tandem with whatever Congress does or doesn't do, or the really harsh enforcement environment that exists right now?
Well, I mean, we're encouraging Congress to pass broad immigration reform legislation, and part of the genesis for that, of course, is the harsh enforcement environment. The situation is absolutely untenable at this point, with the record number of deportations, and this administration, 2 million of them already, which is astounding. So that lends some urgency to the call for comprehensive immigration reform, and it makes it a lot more difficult, of course, to integrate people and to ensure their well-being and success in the United States.
Even in the midst of crisis and uncertainty, the Bishop of the Diocese of Immigrants was able to provide a vision for the work ahead.
A century ago, the church responded generously to the needs of immigrants, building parishes and schools, establishing a vast array of charitable institutions, evangelizing newcomers, and being evangelized in turn by immigrant Catholics with distinctive traditions of worship and often a deep spirituality much their own. We need to do that again. It's a very hopeful sign that you've come here today, committed yourselves to this challenge and moving us ahead. Please continue to help us with this very important project. God bless you.
Reporting for Currents, this is Konrad Aderer.